Microphone check 1 2 1
What
2.
is
What
it?
up?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Welcome to another episode of Slide Through Podcast. I want to take a guess and say we are 194.
I'm going to say 193. I think.
193. You're probably right. I'm
probably
fucked
wrong.
up.
Who
I'm
knows?
probably
Whatever.
wrong. We're probably wrong. But we
We're always
think,
wrong.
Yeah, can't help it. But we thank everyone who tunes in every week. Shout out to our day ones. Shout out to our day twos. Shout out to the ones that are checking this out for the first time. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, give us a like, comment, whatever it may be.
Share with your friends, family.
Share with your
93,
friends.
good.
Yeah.
193.
193. Yes,
Yeah.
sir. We are 193, a little shy of 200, so I'm very excited for that. Before we get into our partnerships, I just want to know how everyone's doing so far. How's everyone doing? How's y'all weekends?
Cheers.
It's a good.
Cheers.
Cheers,
Yeah,
everybody.
cheers.
Cheers.
Salud.
Cheers,
Salud.
cheers. We're drinking a unbranded beer.
Yeah.
I mean, 'cause, you know what I'm saying?
Drinking
Just, you know what I'm
unbranded
saying?
beer.
They got to pay us, if you know what I'm saying?
As far as I know, that's just apple juice in a glass, bro.
Yeah.
Pissed in the glass.
Martinelli's.
There you go.
Yeah, some more.
It's a good Tuesday, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Look at you with a tie.
Yeah, you look very official, bro.
Is that like a Christmas tie? I feel like that is.
No, this
No?
is just my work tie, bro.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a
I
super
feel like
thick
you
tie.
wear like a far out work tie. You don't got like a weird ass work tie?
Like a crazy one.
Yeah.
No, the one that the weirdest one I got is just like bats. Like they're like small little bats, kind of like little Batman bats, like the
Okay.
symbol.
All right, you little
Okay.
Batman.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
that's like the craziest one I
Oh,
have, but it's like not even like that weird.
You
It's
put the
still-
mask on too?
That's what Bruce Wayne wears on Casual Friday.
Just
Hey man, don't tell me you're the tie guy at work.
Yeah.
Hey Chew, what's the new tie today? Apples. Oh, you're so funny.
So funny.
What'd you bring today?
bro.
Got little fishies on your tie.
A little fucking fish crackers on there.
You can peel them off and eat them, dude.
Little
Everybody's good though? Everybody's good?
Chilling, bro. Can't
Chilling.
complain.
Yeah, how are you? How's our guest? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm chilling, man. Thank you guys for having me, dude.
Yeah,
of course,
Cool.
yeah.
This is a
Of
good
course.
space. I like this.
Of course, man. Let the people know who you are.
Oh, yeah. My name is MIcheal Booth. I am a local aspiring comedian and podcaster as well. I live in Marina, and yeah, I kind of do stuff in like Santa Cruz, San Jose. Try to get up to the Bay Area. Yeah, and I've been doing it for about since 2018. I started in March. Actually, right over here. You guys remember East Village? You guys ever go there?
Yeah, the coffee shop right here, right?
Yeah, I used to do that open mic all the time.
I didn't even know they
you know
did like
what's-
open
that's
mics.
funny.
over
I used to work there years ago.
Oh, okay.
This guy worked
I-
everywhere, bro.
Yeah, I worked in. I worked
can't
in
hold down a job, huh?
I worked over here.
I worked in the little kitchen with the old guy that used to like be the one that like prepared all the sandwiches.
Oh, okay. Some of those sandwiches are pretty good.
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
had
they
a
were.
couple.
They were. But also, like, my job was also to drive them like to all the locations because you know how they used to have like Carmel and
It's like a paper boy, but like with sandwiches.
yeah, like
Oh,
a little
okay.
sandwich paper boy.
like extra bologna and cheese.
Did you have a sandwich tie?
Yeah, I had a sandwich tie and everything, bro. I had the sandwich pants too. Just,
Oh, geez.
That's
they,
for sure, man.
they had the little
You
bib
know
on
you
them
have the
for-
socks.
Yeah.
You have the sub socks.
Oh, I will say the only thing that like I do have that's kind of cool is like my socks. I have like Star Wars socks and shit like that.
Okay.
Oh, and he's a
And
sock
like-
guy
and-
too.
and like Zelda shit.
Are they
Yeah.
high?
Yeah, they're high as
Yeah?
fuck, bro.
Why are they high?
Are you the like Sith socks, the Jedi socks? What are you doing
Yeah, I
there?
got like some. I got one that's like all the like the ships, like the Millennium Falcon, the Y-wing, the
okay.
X-wing,
Damn.
and then I got one that's like the Death Star, and then I got like this Zelda Zelda socks that are like just like the NES Zelda like
Okay.
little
I
designs.
thought you
and
said
shit.
Griselda socks. I was like, how you gonna have Griselda socks before me? But
I got Griselda socks.
well, let's dive into our partnerships before we go any further. Shout out to definitely Eden.
You got the shirt?
I got the shirt on.
You
This is
got
like a
the
workout
painting?
shirt. You know what
Oh,
I'm
that's
saying?
fucking dope. Did
You see,
Yeah.
you see the painting right behind me. This is definitely Eden's, my brother's brand. So make sure you check it out. They
Hell
got
yeah.
t-shirts, hoodies, hats, candles, lighters. Yeah, pretty much anything. Socks as well. Yeah, whole lot of shit. So make sure you tap into that.
Whole lot of shit.
Yeah, follow him on Instagram at definitely Eden, no G at the end. Also, shout out to Monterey Bay Creations. You dream it, they create it. Ricky is out absent today, but
Because he's out making your dreams happen.
he's
that's
out
why.
there making some dreams come true for some
This
people.
motherfucker
so-
was on what's that shit called?
Bro, he been having like some crazy fun weekends and then not come here and not talk about it. That shit.
And then just not say anything.
And
Just
just
act
not,
like
not
didn't
say,
he go to a
yeah,
rave?
she was chill, motherfucker.
it
Met
seemed
Drake
like a
or some
rave.
shit.
Then he went to a rave, right?
I think so.
He's
And
like,
then he
oh,
was-
he's like, I just kicked it with Snoop Dogg backstage and smoked with him.
And then he was up on like
It
in a
was
fucking crank, like
Oh,
working,
damn.
doing what,
dude,
power
he's doing-
washing on
yeah,
like
he does
20
all kinds
feet
of
up.
yeah, does all kinds of crazy shit. Comes here, is like,
It's chill.
Talking
chillin'."
about my mama said,
yeah,
but yeah, I don't know,
yeah. He was like the only guy at the rave with a T-shirt on. So
right? And he has tattoos. He could have showed them off.
you want to show them off?
Yeah.
Also, shout out to Fish House located in Watsonville. If you're ever out there in the area, make sure you stop by, get yourself some bomb seafood. Also, speaking of food, check out Fit and Fresh. They do meal preps, meal plans, all that good stuff. Try and eat healthy. You know what I mean? Lose some weight, gains, whatever it may be. What else? ConglomerateByTheSea.com. Make sure you check out that website. That's where you get all of our newest episodes. Merchandise as well available on there. And I think those are the ones. I think those are the guys.
Yeah, that's
it.
it.
Yeah,
Those are the
that's
guys?
it.
Right. Think you're right.
Yes, sir.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, man, what made you want to aspire comedy?
I always wanted to do it. You know, I living up in Washington. I got out of school and I was trying to figure out, you know, what I wanted to do, and ended up getting a job down here, and moved down here, and then I met some people and went to that mic over here, and then I did it there, and then was just like wanted to keep going back, and then it's just been doing that.
Did you always have comedy on your mind though, like
Oh,
I
yeah,
can, like
dude.
there's something I can do?
Not really something I could do, but I was like a huge fan of it as a kid. Like I would watch like Lewis Black and like the classic, like all the classic like Dane Cook stuff and all that stuff. You know, growing up and then just like listening to those albums and like stand-up comedy's always been like a huge part of what I enjoy is like watching and entertainment and stuff like that.
Do you think someone can become funny, or does it always have to be naturally funny?
I think you can develop material that'll work.
That's what I wanted to know because I always wondered, like, for comedians, because in my family, like, if somebody was always funny, they would always tell them, like, oh, that's the funny dude or whatever, you know? And so those are the guys that, like, always knew, oh, yeah, like, I can do this, you know? But I always wondered if there was just, like, comedians that nobody ever told them, but they just thought about it, but they were just good at it, you know? Like, they just...
Well, I think like you can tell the funny guy that to go try comedy, and he can go up there. He may be funny in front of like you guys, you know, but being funny to like a whole room of people,
Strangers?
it's a
other-
little
yeah.
bit. It's a little bit different. I've come
Different.
to learn that,
Way
you know,
different.
and yeah, it's just about doing it, getting reps, and like going up and trying stuff and seeing what works and what doesn't, because you don't know what people think of you until you're up there.
Yeah.
And like it's instantaneous feedback, you know.
Yeah.
That's the part that is kind of gnarly sometimes. Is like a bit won't work,
Yeah.
and they just are like,
You just
and
sit
then you
there,
gotta go on to the next
blank
thing.
stare.
Yeah. You're like,
Yeah.
anyways, okay, so yeah.
So anyways, fuck you.
Did
Yeah.
you probably experienced that very early?
Yeah, I mean, I still experience that
Yeah.
sometimes, just because you never know, like
The bombing.
you never know, like the room, like the vibe. Like I try to go to like San Jose and try to get up there and do stuff and like just the different like bars and stuff. Sometimes you'll go to the people, just you might not vibe with them, you know, they might not like
Yeah.
you, and then you got to just deal with that for 5 minutes or however long you get your
Yeah.
stage time. But it teaches you something, because it's like you got to try to win over
A crowd.
everybody.
Yeah.
Does that mean
Like-
you have to prepare, or would it be a good idea for you to prepare, like, different material for, like, a different region if they, like, take more
I
to
think
something?
people probably do that. I'm still kind of figuring that out. I think the stuff that works for me kind of works like in Salinas and Santa Cruz, and I'm still trying to figure out San Jose. You know, it's still like, and it forces you to like think about yourself a lot. Like you're constantly thinking about stories about yourself, all the dumb shit that you've done, you know, and trying to turn that into something else. Like I have like embarrassing stories that I've like turned into jokes, and it makes it easier to like have that memory. It's not as super like,
Yeah.
that was so dumb. Now it's like, oh yeah, it was dumb, but it's funny.
But it's funny now.
Yeah.
You could laugh at it, right?
Exactly. So yeah, it's kind of cool in that way. Like helps you look at your life a little bit differently, like a positive way, you know.
Yeah.
Like I have some pretty dark jokes that people sometimes like they're like, but like you know when they do laugh, you're like, hell yeah, you.
Bro, I love
understand.
dark humor. Like your Father's Day joke, I thought
Oh.
that was really funny.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I haven't heard that one.
Yeah, that's like I have a bunch of stuff like that. Like it's just that like turning it. You don't expect people don't expect where you're gonna go.
Yeah.
You know, they're
Yeah.
like
Well,
thinking one thing.
that's what they say about a lot of comedians, is that they go ahead and take like the darkest things that happen in their life, you know what I mean, bring light to it and kind of just make it a funny thing, you know?
Yeah, there's some really great, jokes and stories out there, and that's what I look to for like inspiration, trying to create something of my own, because you see like these bits that people regard like like Chappelle and like all these guys that are like they just have jokes that are just like everybody can quote, and it's like trying to put yourself in that position of trying to write something like that. It's like pretty daunting, and you realize you were very humbled quickly. Like I'm humbled all the time at open mics and at shows when I watch somebody come in and just like rip on stage for like they're making people laugh so hard that they're clapping, and they come up to them afterwards like, you're amazing, and it's like the reaction that I got was kind of like in comparison,
kind of like a little chuckle here and there,
like I got laughs, but no one's coming up to me like, oh my god, that was fucking awesome, like, and that's the you see that and you're like, okay, I need to, it just makes you want to work harder and like, and try to put yourself out there more and like just be funnier ultimately.
I love that doesn't discourage you though, that you like take that as like a more of a challenge, like, I just got to improve,
because you realize that everybody's they're just like you, they just have figured out the way to say it's like a cadence too, like the timing, the way you're expressing yourself. Like the podcast that I do, that's what I have comedians on from like the Bay Area and stuff, and people that have like toured outside of California, and I love to ask them questions about like, what's it like going to a state where you don't know anybody, like going to like Alabama or some shit, and you got to go up on a stage in front of those people, and, like,
and you got some like hillbilly jokes or some shit.
Yeah, like you just have stuff that is like true to you, and like you can express like you're telling a story kind of about you, but then also you have to appeal to them.
Yeah, related to them. Yeah,
that shit is like when hearing that, it like makes you go, oh crap, like I'm just here doing like open mics and a couple shows a month.
When you go, can you look at the crowd and you can be like, oh no, these people are like, they're not gonna react to what I gotta say today, or
maybe, but then again, it's just like the challenge thing. It's like I've been in that position where it's like, man, the crowd sucks, and I've had people always be like, it's not the crowd, dude. Like sometimes they can just not like you or something, but that's something that you did, or some the way you're presenting yourself. Like there's like two like ways of looking at that. Something that people have told me a lot is that it's never the audience, it's always you, and like. I try to embody that, but sometimes it's really hard because you're like, this lady was just like not laughing at anything, bro, and I know this shit's funny. Like I know I did it last night, and I was getting people like, why is she staring at me like this? And it's like I must have done something or said something or my body language, like it's just
people
like
probably just have a bad day, bro.
Yeah. Some people,
Some people she's having a bad day, trying to get a laugh, but don't get a
Maybe
laugh.
she's just one of those people that laughs inside. She's cracking up inside, but she's just
Imagine just stone cold face, but she's dying.
One thing that is interesting, like if it's a small audience, like say it's just you guys, and I was doing jokes to you guys, I feel like there's more pressure for you guys to laugh amongst yourselves than if you're in a room full of people.
Yeah.
And I kind of noticed that when the audience is smaller, it seems like people come up to you and be like, that was so funny. But I'm like, you didn't laugh once.
You gave me a straight face.
Right.
They're like, oh yeah, because it's, I was nervous.
You fucking
So
stared at me.
Nervous to laugh, yeah.
It's like people that don't raise their hand in class. Fuck out of here, dude. Like, ask the question, you know what I mean?
Straight up.
Do you feel like that's like, as a comedian, people should laugh even if it's uncomfortable because it's like rewarding to you, like you get to feel that?
I think personally, like I laugh at stuff. I have a pretty loud laugh too, and I'm like that guy in the back laughing at like a joke that no one laughs at a lot, and that's just kind of me. Like I was saying, like I was the guy that raised my hand in class. Like professor would bring in pizza. Did this one time, brought in a pizza. He goes, another professor brought this. We didn't eat it. You guys can have it, and no one ate it. And so I got up, got a slice, went back, ate the first slice. I was like, 2-hour class. I was like, kind of want that other piece. Got up again. There was still, and then at the end, he just like gave me the box. I just took it back to my roommates, bro, and we just ate it all. And it's just like there was free pizza, bro. Like,
and you know they're
scared to get up and get
you
the
gotta
slice.
there's people in the class are like, oh, I want a slice so bad, but they just don't want to get up and get it.
They saw you get up, and
the
they
whole
just looked at you like, I want to be like that guy one day.
Yeah.
Someday I'll
Just-
be that strong.
At that point, I just start getting
Big balls,
slices and
that
making
guy.
eye contact with people and just eating it, bro.
As I'm walking back.
People were looking at me too. I'm like, man, stop judging me, bro. I'm getting down on this. It was
Bro, bro.
It's a meatloaf.
Should have been like, I got massive
day.
balls.
So what did you get
I
up?
get up and get the pizza.
How many times did you get up?
Massive.
Like 3 times?
I got up twice. The third time I was about to, but then I got in and started getting in my own head because I'm like, no one's getting up.
Bro,
to eat
at
this
the third
pizza.
time, I would have just
Bro,
picked up the whole box.
Yeah.
Bro,
Brought it back to my desk.
third time I would have walked there
Fuck y'all,
naked.
y'all
Just
don't
like,
want this.
So at the end, that's what that, like I was walking
Yeah,
by
right.
and I went up to him and was like, "Are you gonna
Fucking
take
lit
that
in
box
his
with you?"
schwank,
And he's
dude.
like, "You can have it." And I
But the third time I would have just walked up and just taken the whole pizza.
Took the whole box.
might as well
would've
put your
asked
feet up on the table.
Yeah.
the first time I should have just been like, "Anybody else? I should take the box."
Straight
the
up,
first
yeah.
time,
It
bro.
was like, really, nobody's gonna fuck with this. All right, I'm gonna take it.
But yeah, I think that's just like, I don't know. In certain situations, that's the type of person I am. I'll just like, no one else is gonna go first or do the like. I'll do it, you know, just to ease the tension because that's what it is most of the time. It's like tension in a room. Like you guys ever been in like team building exercises at like a job? Or
Yeah,
like,
it's so annoying,
it's
bro.
annoying, but like at the end, you do feel like as a
You kinda
group,
do
you
know,
kinda
but
do
yeah.
feel a little bit closer. And it's almost like I wish at a comedy show sometimes as a host, I could just do a little. You kind of are doing that. You're like, come on, you guys, make some noise. You know, you're trying to like. It's like team building. You're like trying to get everybody like, all right, we're about to listen to people tell
Participating, yeah.
stories and jokes. Yeah. It's fun. And it's weird though too. You
Is
know?
that where crowd work comes into play, where you just kind of go ahead and like pick somebody on the crowd? And
I mean, I'm still getting. I've had some good moments, but it's still like I don't. I've watched people. That's their whole thing. Is they go right up
They
on
just
stage
pick
and
at
that's
the
the
crowd?
whole time. They connect stuff together with people, and they're like making jokes like, and they're making a story about the people in the audience. It's crazy to
that's
watch.
a talent in itself. man.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
you're like, you just came up with all that out of nowhere. Like,
Yeah.
you went up there with nothing in your head, and you're like, I'm gonna create something with the audience. And at the end, they're all like those people become friends.
Yeah.
You know that you made jokes about, and it's like, I love watching that. That's a true skill. Like I feel like sometimes I'm able to, if I see somebody and they look like something that
Like
I
you're
they
able
look,
to,
like,
yeah.
or they look like. I can, if something comes to my mind right away, then I'll try it.
Okay.
But I don't like, I'm not, I haven't got there yet with like
Have you
just
had
going
someone mad
people.
at you because
Hecklers? Any hecklers?
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've had some people like not get mad, but just kind of interrupt and like comment on stuff like they're drunk. So you
Okay.
say a joke and then they say their little part. They want to add a little thing to your joke, and you're trying to go on to the next thing. And they're like still talking. Or I've had people talking during my show that I run in Salinas, and I've asked them to be quiet a couple times, and they're still talking. And then when I got the mic, I like walk over to them. I'm like, hey, now that I got the mic, like, do you know what be quiet means? Or like, do I gotta tell you, like, do I gotta write it down? Or like, what's up? You know, like, because
Put 'em on blast?
Yeah, because you're like, dude, this is like we're putting on a show and you're
Right.
interrupting
Yeah.
the whole show. Like,
Pretty
it's
much
one thing
the
about
thing.
comedy that sucks. It's like, it's not like music or like
Exactly,
some
like-
sort of show where you can talk during or you can kind of chat with your homies. You really got to be
Paying attention.
paying attention because like you're going on the journey with that person.
Yeah.
Because that's the
exactly.
experience. That's what you're there for. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
And-
shit's tough. Yeah.
Most people are respectful, but I think when people have had a bit too much to drink, or they're like it's their first time, or
Yeah, they're
they-
not really familiar with comedy or going to shows or even respect the art form. I feel like comedy is one of those art forms that people kind of sleep on, you know?
I think so, because people think we're. I mean, I don't know how
People think it's easy.
people
Just like,
think
you
you're
just gotta
just
be
up there
funny.
talking.
Yeah.
Sometimes you are. Sometimes, but like I would say most of the time with me, I have like all the stuff you guys watched or whatever. I worked on those for a long time before I put them up on my YouTube channel. Like that was like the finished product, you know. I tried those jokes out a lot. I wrote like tried different ways to say it, and eventually it was like this is the way it works,
It's-
you know.
yeah.
And I have like bullet points of new stuff right now that I'm trying to get to where I put it online, and that's kind of like the goal. And like everybody has material and that they're trying to work on, or you feel like you have a good joke or something, and yeah, it's not just we repeat it like to the point where it's like it starts to get annoying to even say it at a certain
Yeah.
point. Like there's jokes I'm tired of telling, you know, like I'm like,
But it works.
But it
Trying to
works,
force it.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it works really well. And it's like when you're at a new show, like out of town, and you're like doing the jokes that work. Like you really have to sell them like that. It's like the first time you're telling it, even
Yeah.
you know, even though you've said it like so many times, you're like.
Gotta have that same
I don't
energy.
even think this is funny anymore, really. But it works, though. Yeah.
You like that.
So did you start, getting on stage in Washington, or when you got to California?
When I got to California, right down here, at the East Village, and then I started going to Santa Cruz. Rest in peace, Poet and the Patriot. It was like the Monday night open mic there, which was like comics from San Francisco and San Jose and all over the place. Sacramento even would come down there, like to do the clubs and stuff, and would like
Right.
come and do sets there. And you would get to see, you know, like people that are like, you know, hosting an opening for like big names coming through, and that's where I really started to like really get involved, is in Santa Cruz, and started going. They had it like every night of the week. There was open mics at one point, and I was driving there and back after work, just like going and doing sets, you know. And yeah, like Santa Cruz is like really, the comedy scene there is amazing. Like if you guys are ever up there any weeknight, like Tuesday nights actually, at 8 o'clock, the Blue Lagoon. I don't know if you guys know that bar.
Yeah.
Great comedy show in that back room off to the side. It's a free show. It's like
Is it Thursday nights or what?
Tuesday nights.
Tuesday nights.
So it's like half open mic, half showcase. So there's like booked people from San Francisco that come down, do longer sets. But then it's like you get open micers and stuff going up too, and it's like a really cool. So you know, that's that room where they normally have like music and stuff. So
Yeah.
it packs out with people, and it's like really fun to do. And then there's shows Wednesday, there's shows Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. It's like it's really cool up there. You know,
I'm not very familiar with like the comedy world, so that's why this question. But since I know like music a little bit, for because you know, for like a rapper, you always need like new material, but not necessarily, because you know most people rap about like shit that other people have rapped about, and it's like, oh, you know, as long as you know they do their own style with it, you know. Do you
Yeah.
feel like that's true with comedy? You can just regurgitate other jokes that have kind of already been told, but like you have to have your own style, or do you think you have to have something fresh?
I mean, yes and no. And when I say yes, like when what you said about regurgitating, you like an idea can be redone, but like there you can't do like the same
Word for
cadence
word.
or like
It could be the same subject.
it can't really, even like you don't want to follow the same pathway like of thinking or idea that like I thought of a joke one time I thought was amazing. Like there's no evidence of who invented cheese on the internet. I like looked it up.
What?
And, yeah, bro. It was just like passed down from oral like tradition or whatever.
Yeah, because that's
And
been-
so like I was like, damn, bro, I want to figure out who, like it'd be funny to think about the first dude that invented cheese. And so I just looked that up, and a guy had a whole bit about it already. And I was like, and it was like exactly what I was thinking. And I was like,
Right.
and that was one of the first times where I was like, ah, man, okay, if you have an idea that you feel like is
Original,
groundbreaking or original,
yeah.
you need to go on the internet, because somebody probably already had
Yeah.
that light bulb moment.
Yeah.
That's why there's
And-
that saying, man. No
Yeah.
idea is original.
And so, providing your own unique spin on it, and like certain, like people have talked about, like I have a joke about Bop It. People have talked about Bop It. People have talked about like deer hunting and all these things that I
Yeah.
have, and it's like those are, I've felt like I've provided what's unique to me and tried to make that funny, like my experience. Like how can my experience be put together in a way that like makes you laugh, you know?
Yeah.
And that's like, I think for me, that's what's helping me find stuff that I feel like I haven't found online that hasn't been done before. That's like, okay, this is kind of, and no one else is doing it out in around where I'm at. I don't see anybody else to have this idea, so it feels unique to me, you know? And that's the stuff that I feel like you gravitate and you try to make, like the stuff that you take with you to like showcases and stuff when you get booked, and like in San Jose or anything
Yeah.
like that.
Sure. How would you describe your comedy style to be?
I don't know, actually. That's interesting. I think I do observational stuff, or people have told me that. And I talk about my family. I try to be silly. Like there's a few jokes I have where I'm like taking a point, trying to make a point, but I don't try to. I'm not there trying to tell you a message.
Yeah.
I just want to be like silly and yeah, and just like take experiences that I had, whether it's an embarrassing story about myself or something, and like.
Like a lot of
Just
people
make
have
it
like
funny.
some strong suits. Like Gabriel Iglesias, I feel like one of his strong suits is doing like
Impressions?
Oh, he has
impressions-
like so many
impressions.
voices. Yeah.
Yeah, impressions. Like, you
Yeah.
ever thought about like doing like a little bit of like impressions,
Yeah,
or
do you ever
like kind
do
of
any,
like skits?
slapstick or anything with like stuff like that?
I do like the stoner dude voice on stage sometimes. Like I'll walk up and be like, "Yo, what's up, dude?" I'll fucking just like bust that out, and I'll try to do that. But yeah, I haven't really done. I'm like animated sometimes. Like I'll act out things, but like with voices and stuff, yeah, it's a little.
A
Yeah.
little tough
It's a
one.
little tough, yeah. I have a video up. I tried to do an impression of fucking Gilbert Godfrey. It was really hard. Like I like spent like a whole afternoon trying to figure out his voice, and I was like, "This is so hard to do." Like, I you know, like to work it out on stage, you have to just practice all those.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because you don't want to mess up on stage.
No, like in half do that. Here's my impression of this guy, and then you fuck it up. Everybody's just laughing at you because it's bad.
Yeah.
And you're like, man, okay.
Do you feel like you can tell, like when you get laughter, that there's a difference between people laughing because it's bad and people laughing because they genuinely enjoy it?
You can feel. That's it. Yeah. I think you can feel that most of the time. If the joke's bad, they're just not gonna laugh at you. But if it's like bad to the point of funny, they'll give you like the chuckle or like the kind of the dad joke laugh, you know, where they're like it's like fake.
Haha.
Yeah, they're kind of like, okay, cool. Or the people just go, all right, dude. Like, but yeah, if it's not funny, they're not gonna laugh at you, I think.
Is there certain topics you avoid when making, like, I don't know, religion, people's moms, bro? Like, I don't know. Like,
People's mom.
Religion, I don't really know a whole lot about.
Politics
I'm
or
not
something
like a
like that,
religious
you know?
person at all. Yeah, I didn't grow up with it or anything, so I don't really have anything to talk about. It's mostly just my lack of understanding, I think.
Mm-hmm.
People's moms,
All
if
the
she's
time.
there, bro, yeah, I'll hit her up on stage one time. Yeah, I don't know, but no, yeah, I don't. I think you learn what to stay away from because it's based on you. It's based on like what you can say. Like me being like a tall white dude with long hair that's kind of like fucking just high, you know, or feels like he is. Yeah, I'm just trying to be silly, you know.
Are
like
you
if
though?
Are you high, or you just feel like you're high?
I mean, most of the time, yeah.
Most of the time I am high, and
Yeah,
I
most
feel
of
like
the
I'm
time.
high.
Yeah, well, people assume I am just because of
Because of long hair.
yeah. Like I come in, I'm like, "What's up?" And they're like, "Did you just smoke?" I'm like,
Like that one.
I did an hour ago. I think it's just residual. Yeah, it's always kind of residual. That's what I should tell people. Like,
Like that one actor from Half Baked, a guy who was squinty. I forget his name, but he's always looks high no matter
Jim
what.
Brewer.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, that dude has the best high face of all time.
he does.
It's kind of wild now, though. If you've been watching him now.
Why, he's going crazy?
Nah, he's not going crazy. He's just like fully. He's like full like anti-vax COVID guy. Yeah. He just. I mean, he's like. I think there was like a lot of comics went one way or the other. You know, they're like took it seriously, or some people were like,
Yeah, or didn't.
"Fuck this shit." Yeah. I mean, that's like everybody, you know.
Yeah. Don't lie.
And how was it? Have you like bombed?
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, yeah. How was like the first
still
time?
do, dude.
How
I
was the
still
first
bomb.
time? Like how that
The
made
first
you
time I
feel?
ever did comedy, I bombed.
At East Eden right here?
Yeah.
Walk us through that.
I
Did comedy at
Did you get nervous?
no
Did
East
you
Village.
Oh,
East.
East.
Oh, my bad.
it's
My bad. I'm thinking that.
You did
East
a comedy
Village,
show at
East
his job.
Wrong East.
Got fired.
No, my first time, I didn't do well at all. I wrote stuff down and then I talked really fast. I stared at the ground the whole time with a hat on, so people couldn't see my face.
You're
and
just
then
nervous.
I said, "All right, thank you guys," and people were like,
That was it?
"What?" Like they kind of clapped for me a little bit, and then I just walked directly out of there, got in my truck, and left.
Oh,
And
the nerves
but I
got
was
to you?
like, I was so nervous, but I was like, wow, I want to do that again because I just fucked that up. Like, I know that I can.
Gotta
I know
redeem
that
it.
I
Get
can
back.
do it. Yeah. And then the more that I did it, like people started laughing at certain things, and then, you know, you just get that motivation. And
I feel like
and-
that's a special wiring in a brain because if I would have done that, I would have been like, I'm never doing that again. I'm done.
I think it's it was like I want to make people laugh. I know I can, like, and yeah, now it's like okay, now I'm trying to put, you know, trying to get like spots, trying to get booked on stuff that like like producers that have like, you know, other shows where they know other people, you know, you realize after a while it's just like you got to have good clips, you got to be a good dude when you're around, you got to be a good hang, you got to be funny on stage, and you got to, you know, like be respectful of everything, and then just like keep putting yourself out there, you know, and more you get opportunities, and then like I know friends that they were kind of like at the level that I'm at right now 2 years ago, and now they're doing Cobb's, they're doing the Punchline, you know, they're like opening for people and stuff, and it's like you just see the pathway with certain friends and stuff, and you see certain people like going to Phoenix to do shows, going to Seattle to do shows. It's like, okay, like, you know, I can do that, I think, you know, and so that's kind of where I find myself right now, is just trying to put stuff together and build like, so I can do like longer sets. Because that shit, dude, when you start getting into like doing longer and longer sets,
20 minutes.
I've done it. That's the longest I've been up there. And
So 20-minute set.
it is a long time,
Fuck, bro.
It's a long
Standing
time.
Just
there,
those
Long
eyes
time
just
to keep
staring at you.
people entertained, to keep people like looking at you and not like start to get bored and not
Look at their
starting to talk.
phone.
Yeah.
Chit chat.
And like, yeah, you have to like. I realized like, oh, I haven't written this stuff out to like connect. You know, like you watch a comedy special, it feels like a story or something. You know,
like a movie.
like I just kind of have things that are kind of all over the. I'm like, how do these fit together? As like, well, how can I make it like a story or something? you
I
know?
see.
How many jokes do you usually have in like a 20-minute set?
Oh, bro.
I think it just depends. Huh?
Depends.
Depends
I mean,
on
the
the material.
goal. People tell me, and something that I've heard, is the goal is to get like a laugh like every 30 seconds or less, and so you want to have 40 if you're doing a 20-minute set. You want to have 40 punchlines.
Shit.
Or just
And
be
that's just
funny.
like that's just like a number to like think about. Like, okay, and then look at how many I actually have. I'm like, a lot of it I'm like building to the punchline. So I'm like, how can I tell a joke in this part where I'm explaining the story? How can I make a little laugh here or there? You
Yeah.
know? And like, it's just like, I imagine if you're writing a song or doing anything like that, like, how can I make this next part connect to the end, or how can I make this?
I love how you related it to that.
How can I make this
'cause-
riff go into this like chorus thing, you know, or whatever?
Because
And-
that's what a lot of people don't think about is like the craft of how to like actually structure the jokes. You know, that's interesting. I hadn't even thought of that. You know.
Well, and it's like packing it in there, you
Yeah.
know, like it's like if someone's paying attention to you, you can take them all over the place, and you're making like somebody that I watched that really inspired me was Mark Normand. I don't know if you guys knew who Mark Normand.
I like
is.
Mark Normand.
I went and saw him at Rooster Tea Feathers in Sunnyvale, and he was making me laugh so hard that I couldn't breathe, bro.
Oh man.
Dude, he's
Like-
hilarious.
And it was just boom, boom, boom. Like I couldn't even keep up. I was like, holy shit. Like it was like assault on my ears and mind, but it was amazing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that's like that's what you can do. You know, that's like where the bar is, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, it just makes you really think about
And you really
what you're
discovered-
doing and like I ain't shit.
no, but he really
Like-
discovered his own style. Like his style is like
Yeah.
the awkward guy, you know. He's like the awkward casual, like hey there, you know.
He was doing it like 10 years before anybody
Yeah.
saw him on what you see now. There's
Yeah.
like so much video of him back then, just like you can see the progression. So you know that you get better as you go. It's just like figuring it out,
Yeah.
which is like anything, you know.
How many years are you in?
I've been doing it minus the pandemic because I kind of was like, I
Kinda
didn't
taking a
really do
break,
the whole.
yeah.
I did the whole Zoom thing a little bit,
Mm.
but I was doing like outdoor stuff here and there. But it's been like 3 years minus that
Pandemic?
time in the pandemic.
Okay.
Yeah. So I feel like I have a lot. Like
Very
somebody
new,
the other night was
yeah.
like, "Oh, a little baby." I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
I still have a lot to learn. This is just like all stuff that I feel like I'm like, you know, learning through people, like doing my podcast, talking to other comics, and like doing like running a show in Salinas. I get to know, and like being behind the part of that, like booking a show too, gives you an appreciation for like the people that you reach out to, you know, to like
Sure.
ask to do theirs.
Nice.
It's like,
Oh, what's the name of your podcast?
my podcast is called I'm Getting There. I started it actually in March of 2020. So I didn't want to do Zoom comedy really because that's what was happening when
Yeah.
the pandemic. So I was like, I'm just going to do Zoom, but I'm just going to do a podcast.
Right.
And so, you know, I already knew a whole lot of comics from the Bay, and I've talked to comedians from out of state and like musicians on there, and it's mostly just kind of like what we're doing right now, just talking about like what we're doing, talking about the process of stuff. Like, I love getting advice from people on that show, like just asking them about what stuff they've been through and shit like that. And I try to be funny on there too, and like, you know, and just shoot the shit and joke around.
Nice.
But
It's
yeah.
drops on YouTube.
I just do audio. I have YouTube clips on my channel from it, but I just do audio like on Spotify and Apple and all those good things.
Cool.
Yeah, you can. It's on my Instagram right there in the. If you click on the
link tree.
at,
I'm
it's
getting there.
yeah, you can find, and then Linktree too. Yeah, I got stuff for my shows, podcasts, my TikTok, and all that shit. Yeah,
Nice.
fuck TikTok, dude.
Oh yeah.
Do you feel like-
yeah, they're really.
Do you feel
Bricks
like you
and
have to
beer
like
on
be
the
on it
30th.
to
Yeah.
be discovered now? Yeah.
I feel like it's one of those things where you have to.
Every
I'm just
Tuesday
trying
in
to.
Santa Cruz.
I try to just do the stuff that's trendy. And,
Yeah.
like put joke clips up there.
You
And-
have to because that's how you get your like brand out there. Yeah.
You have to. Yeah, it's
It's
if
law.
you listen to if you listen to people like Gary Vee or something, you're posting like every day. You know, it's like, yeah, you have to. Yeah, I watch I watch it like at night, looking for like trendy sounds or like dance moves or stuff. Like I had a video hit like 67,000, I think was like my highest one, and it was just this I saw this filter. I saw everybody was doing this filter, and I was like, I'm gonna do it this way, and I like made a weed joke, and then everybody's like, and it was kind of cool. Yeah, it was like it was cool that I've never had a something pop like that, so that was kind of neat.
It's
But
crazy that all it takes is just one clip though, and and as long as you got so much material out, that one clip will just go ahead and drag so many people to go ahead and see everything else you already got up there, though.
like so many people get discovered, and like Stavros Halkias is like a comedian right now that's blowing up, and he was on the Come Town podcast. You guys, I don't know if you guys know what that is. But he was on that podcast for a while, and then he had like like I think a clip from a podcast or show, take off, and now he's like, and then you start getting spots, and you start going and getting like out of state work and stuff. I bet it just seems like it piles on once you get, like you said,
Right.
like it probably becomes really overwhelming.
I think so, because I think like for so long you're on the ground with like I'm looking for spots, and you're looking for it, right? And then eventually you blow up, and then it's like people are just looking for you to the point where it's like, all right, well, like, yo, let me get a breather, like,
yeah, you want to say yes to everything, I imagine. Mostly I'm reaching out. Like occasionally I'll get people hitting me up, like, hey, that know me, and like they've done my show or something like that, and there's like that reciprocation too, which is nice. And yeah, like the basement show at the XL has been like, I've been doing that since I started, really. Like 6 months in, I started doing that like once a month.
the
Like
basement
showcase.
show, is that your show, the one that you
Yeah, so the Bricks and Beer Comedy Night at the XL Public House, it's like every last Saturday.
Books and Beers, where's that?
And so XL is like right in Old Town in Salinas.
Okay.
So you know where like the Steinbeck Center is over
Yeah,
there?
yeah.
It's right, that first bar right there on the
In
corner.
the corner,
Yeah.
right? Was a bunch of stickers and stuff all
Yeah,
over? Okay.
so the XL, and then they have a basement. And like, I have some pictures on my Instagram of it, actually. If you scroll.
And
down
you
a little
run
bit
and you run
more.
this show.
Yeah, that one right there on the right. Right below that.
Right below.
Yeah, so that's like the basement downstairs. Yeah, and I run this show. And it's pretty cool. Like, it's got the brick wall. We have like the backdrop. And I've been doing it for like 3 years. And
That's dope.
I've had comedians from LA come up there. Mikey, who's right there, he came up from LA to headline.
That's
And
dope.
What made you do it? Because I'm sure there's a bunch of other comedians. Well, there's a bunch of comedians in the area, but
There's
you
a few,
decided
yeah.
to like.
Somebody told me about this place,
Mhm.
and I showed up and I walked down there, and I saw that basement with like the bricks and everything, and I just kind of like saw it,
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh, this would be sick. Like this would be so sick, and there was some other people that were like kind of doing comedy with me at the open mic at East Village that kind of helped me get it started, and then I've just been like running it and using it to kind of network and stuff and like book people from out of town, and like it's cool, man. Like there's a bunch of regulars that show up that love the comedy show there, and it's a fun vibe. It starts at 9 on Saturday, so it's like the downtown afterwards. Sometimes we'll go hit like King's Den or some shit.
Is this do you gotta pay, or is this like free?
It's free show.
You gotta pay for your liquor.
It's pay for liquor, and then we suggest donations.
Yeah.
And I suggest donations like on Eventbrite and stuff, because these people are traveling from San Francisco and from Los Angeles and from Oakland and
Yeah.
For free?
Sure.
Like they're not asking you for money to come and do
Well,
the
I
show?
pay them through the donations and
I
stuff. So
see.
like everybody's pretty good about tipping, and like also we try to push like beer of the night for XL and stuff, and I've been trying to keep it that way. I know that I think that as I start to know more people and stuff, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to keep it as a free show, just because some of these people that I'm starting to meet, like that's what they do for their living.
Yeah.
You have to pay them a certain amount for them to come perform for you.
Exactly.
And they are like really great comedians, too. So it's worth it, and it's just like, I think maybe I might eventually I'll charge like $10 or something just to pay for like that sort of talent to be
Yeah.
coming through. And
Yeah.
I already am booking that sort of talent. It's just been I'm not taking anything out of it really. It's more of just getting these people coming in, out of town, getting them paid and stuff like that. So
Okay.
I really, you guys, July 30th, at 9 o'clock at the XL in Salinas. Come through. Or slide through.
I think we're gonna have to. I think we're gonna have to, bro.
I like that term better.
Yeah, come out, man. I got a great lineup this month. My buddy John Gabb's headlining. Jack Ferguson, he was runner-up at the East Bay Comedy Competition at the Alameda Comedy Club, and then Kelly Evans and Denise Lee, who are also great comedians from the Bay. Kelly runs a show in Oakland, and I think Denise also runs a show in San Francisco. So, yeah, these guys they're hilarious, they're hardworking, and it's a great chance to see comedy, instead of having to drive to the San Jose Improv or Cobb's or anywhere where these people are performing. I'm trying to bring them to Salinas, I'm trying to bring them to the Central Coast, so it's not, like you don't have to drive out of your way. You can just go to Salinas and have a great night, and then go out afterwards and hang out with them, even if you want to.
Yeah, that's dope, man. I'm definitely about to be there.
That's
July
tight.
30th for sure. So, are you the host, or do you go ahead and do your comedy?
I'm the host, and those are my lights. That's my PA. I set it up. I break it down. It's basically all me.
But you don't do any comedy like bits up there while you?
I do, yeah. Like
Okay.
when I host, I'll do a little bit, and then
Okay.
sometimes we'll have like a guest host, and I'll go up and do a set. But I'm on stage at every one of those.
That's tight. You're putting in work.
That's
That
dope.
shit's
Yeah.
fun, man. Yeah, and
Looking forward to it.
what was I gonna? I had. You guys know what Kill Tony is? You heard of Kill Tony?
Why does that sound familiar?
It's like a comedy podcast. It's a couple of the
Is
comics
it,
I've had.
is it Tony's? No,
Tony
never
Hinchcliffe?
Oh, Tony Hinchcliffe.
Yeah.
I was thinking Tom Segura.
Oh. But yeah, a couple of comics that have been on that show have
Nice.
come and done it and stuff.
Oh, really?
That's
Yeah,
what's up,
sure.
yeah.
Show.
Yeah, and then this week I'm starting a new one in Santa Cruz.
At the Blue Lagoon or something?
No, this is at the Woodhouse. It's just like a similar show to the one I was just explaining, just in a different location. So same kind of idea, just trying to bring comedians to Santa Cruz from
Instead
the Bay
of, yeah.
Area instead of Salinas. Still Salinas, but just a different night.
Yeah.
And how was it growing up in Washington? You say you're from Washington, right?
Yeah, I grew up
How-
on a farm, dude, until I was like 18. And
Really?
then, yeah, I was
So
a
you-
sheltered farm boy, like my whole upbringing, basically.
Just farming, just
Just like hunting, fishing, farming.
Homeschool or no?
No, not homeschooled, but like didn't really hang out with friends at all. Kind of just like went to school, came home, and
And
then
work?
like had chores and had to play sports. Like I hung out like towards more like high school and stuff. I would hang out with friends and stuff like that. I stopped hunting. I didn't really like
Started
it.
smoking weed.
I didn't smoke weed till I was 21, dude.
What?
Oh,
Really?
wow. See, look at you judging. You judger.
when you got in California, or you were still
No,
Washington?
I smoked it in college. Yeah,
Oh.
my friends.
What
I
college
was
did
like,
you go to?
Fuck it. I went to Central Washington University.
Okay.
It's in Ellensburg, Washington. Shout out.
Was that
Go
as good as
Wildcats.
Cali weed, or was it?
No, it was probably some fucking
Some
bongs, dude. Yeah.
Some fire
I
mid.
ripped a bong though my first time, so like
Oh,
it
yeah.
was this tiny little like bedazzled bong that my homie
That's
had.
so long.
Yeah, it was my girlfriend's best friend, and we smoked, and then I was sitting there, and all of a sudden I just picked my feet up off the carpet like this. I'm like, "What are you doing, bro?" I'm like, "I could feel every piece of the carpet on my feet, dog." Like, and I just couldn't put my feet down. I sat like this the whole
I
time.
can still feel the carpet.
The first time I was high, I just couldn't touch the carpet. It was too much. I could feel all the
and it's like,
fibers.
so there's wood floors on my house till this day. Yo. Like, no
I was
carpet.
tripping. I was like, "Yo, there's so many pieces of carpet, dude."
I don't want to step on it.
Carpet is just a big square of carpet.
Exactly.
Carpet is carpet.
Yeah.
I know. What sports did you play?
I played football mostly.
What position?
I was long snapper, dude, in high school.
Oh shit! for
Yeah,
real?
bro. I was actually first team all conference for special teams.
Nice.
Long snapping, dude. I was out there when we were kicking a field goal, we were punting. I'm that dude. But I was too. All the linemen were too big, bro. I was too small. I was just getting wrecked in practice. But I could hike a ball, So
But that boy can hike.
Yeah.
Coach.
yeah, there was like. Yeah, we kicked like a game-winning field goal in one of the games, and that shit was like the
Oh,
most
nice.
pressure I've ever felt in sports. Like, I can't fuck this up, dude. Like I have to make it there, and it was cool because we won. We
Yeah,
made the field goal, we
the
won. We
feeling
were
of-
like,
yeah.
fuck yeah, dude, yeah.
Yeah, like fuck yeah.
That was like the coolest moment. I think we went to the playoffs a couple times, but yeah, I mean, high school football was fun.
Were you like a class clown
I was
in
going
high
to
school?
ask the same thing. Like,
Nah, man, I was I was that dude that read the. I was the only dude in class to read the book from front to back. I was like fucking kind of like a. I was kind of a class clown-ish, but I was like the kid that would sit there and laugh at you, but I would be the one doing my work, but I would be laughing at you. Like I would want to do the fun stuff that I'd want to make the jokes and stuff, but I was too like I'm like, bro, I gotta focus on this shit. I'm too scared of my parents.
Damn.
But once I got out of college, and
Did you graduate from college?
yeah, I went for 5 years, and only reason I went for 5 years, I did 1 year of community and then transferred, and a bunch of my shit didn't transfer, which is fuck,
shit. So you had to,
I like double checked and all that shit. And they're like, nah, it doesn't transfer. So I had to take some extra.
Yeah, so you had to take a bunch of shit.
Yeah, so that was why I went for 5 years. But yeah, I was going to be an English teacher, and then I was like, fuck that shit. And then I just went for business.
What made you say that?
You had to.
You didn't want to dress up like this guy right here?
Yeah, I didn't want to wear the goldfish tie. No. No, but yeah, you had to go take you had to shadow a teacher.
Yeah.
For like a whole.
Oh yeah, I had to do that because I was.
Yeah, and you didn't get paid, and I was like, I had to work while I was in school. So
yeah, it's bullshit. I was
yeah, I just couldn't. I couldn't really afford to just not work
Right.
and not get paid. So I was like, I just went to school for business, and I felt like I learned a good amount and had a good time. And
did you use your degree afterwards? Did you get a job?
Yeah, I think what I'm doing right now, I feel like is I'm working in compliance and inventory and stuff, and so. I feel like it is a lot of what I do is involved with that, and I specialize in school. I specialize in HR, but I got out. I was like, "Fuck, I'm not a human resources person, bro." I didn't want to do accounting, and this felt like the cool one. So
I didn't want to do accounting either. It's funny enough, actually, HR is what I do now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
yeah, I know some people in HR, and I'm like, bro, I'm not about that life. I just can't be. Yeah, I just can't be I can only be nice for a certain amount of time.
Yeah, before you.
And I can only answer so many questions nice after
before you get tired. Yeah.
What are we doing here? I have that. I have that limit, I guess. But
Living with people.
yeah, bro.
Don't we all, bro?
Thanks.
But yeah, I freaking Washington's cool. Washington, it's a lot of rain. It's a lot of. Everything's wet all the time.
Yeah.
It's really dark most
What
of the time.
city are you from in Washington?
I'm from Graham, Washington, which is out by Mount Rainier in the sticks, kind of
Oh, so it's probably hella nice up there, huh?
super nice. The closest town I'm to is Puyallup, probably the major town, which is kind of south of Tacoma. So I'm 45 minutes from Seattle, basically an hour south of Seattle, which is
Did you go to Seattle a lot because of that?
I did sometimes. It always felt it kind of feels like how San Francisco feels from here.
Yeah.
When you get there, you're like, whoa, dude, this is sick. Yeah, that's kind of how Seattle felt for me. But I have friends that live there now, so when I go back home, everybody lives in Tacoma and Seattle, so it's it's cool. I get to just hang out and go
Are your
downtown.
parents still on the farm?
No. My mom is. They live in Spanaway, and I have a little sister actually. She's 7 years old. That's kind of cool. My mom, it makes it to where my mom's not asking me about grandkids. It's kind of nice. I suggest everybody's mom has a kid, and you don't got to worry about grandkids. They don't. She doesn't ask you at all about grandkids. She actually just doesn't talk to you at all because she has a kid. So it's no, I mean,
So busy with
I'm just
the little
kidding,
one.
but yeah, it's family's good. It's cool. I go back and see them sometimes, and it's nice to go back up to Washington and shit, and you forget how cold. I got out of the airplane one time. I saw my own breath. I was like. Fuck.
Is it Seattle weather very similar to Marina weather?
Kinda, yeah. When it's overcast down here, I get excited, bro.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, man, fuck, it's cloudy. I'm like, yo, it's cloudy. Hell yeah.
I actually love overcast
love the
weather.
fucking rain.
Yeah.
I'm used to it. It's
rain.
it's normal for me, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, when it's cloudy and gray, I'm like,
It's a little bit of home.
Kinda feels
it's
like
a Central
home a
Coast
little
thing.
bit.
So
yeah, the Central Coast does have that vibe where it's you can drive from Salinas to Marina and feel the temperature change.
Hell yeah.
When you hit reservations, sometimes I roll my window down. I'm like, oh man, hell yeah! When it's hot in Salinas all day,
Yeah.
you get out to the coast, you're
Fuck
this
yeah.
is sick.
So Oh, what's your stance on this? It's something that probably went viral. You probably heard of it. The whole Chris Rock, Will Smith situation on the Grammys.
Yeah, bro.
People were saying, "Hey, Chris Rock is known to be a comedian. It's comedy, it's jokes." But some people were saying, "Hey, sometimes that doesn't cut it. Sometimes the comedy law doesn't give you the right to say certain things about certain people."
Okay.
What was your kind of stance on that?
My stance on it now is I recently saw that they're going ahead and they're greenlighting Bad Boys 4, and they're making Bad Boys 4, and Will Smith's going to be in it. And so my stance is if they don't have a scene where Chris Rock comes in and like fucks with him or like beats the shit out of him or some shit, the movie's a waste of time.
Right. I agree with that 1,000%.
That would be the people would lose their minds if like Will Smith's like chained up in a room or something. You don't know who the villain is, and he walks in and he starts just giving it. Yeah, it'd be so sick, right? When it first happened, there were so many people were throwing out jokes and takes on it right away that I kind of was just like,
did you think it was real?
I thought it was real. I didn't actually see it live, but I watched a video of it, and so I watched it, and the way he's like screaming at him at the end, I'm like, oh, that shit's real.
Yeah.
Like if he would have just smacked him and they would have been like, ha ha ha, I would have been like, oh, that was a bit. But he's like, keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Yeah.
He's like screaming at him. Yeah, I don't know. If anything, like, you know, Will Smith can use that as an audition tape for another film. I mean, you know, if he wants to play a dramatic role or something, he can use that.
A dramatic husband.
Yeah. Hopefully not throwing hands. But yeah, I think that Chris Rock should be in Bad Boys 4. If he's not, I'm not seeing it. It'll be a waste of time.
Fuck it, start the petition, folks. And get like a million fucking signatures
He's like an
on
evil
that.
genius. He's got a little cat.
That's what I'm saying. That would be the best.
Yeah,
Like,
I think Will Smith was probably wrong for putting hands on him, person, but
100%.
he could have just been like, "Hey, yo, keep my." He could have yelled all that. He could have done all that.
Yeah,
but
if he would have yelled it, it would have been like, "Yo, Will Smith's wild," but
yeah,
also
But,
okay.
but everybody's had his wife's name in his mouth, on their mouth. So like everybody's been talking about Jada.
yeah.
Tupac.
Everyone always brings up Tupac.
He's still mad at Tupac.
Dude, Will Smith
He's
hates
causing
Tupac.
problems from the grave, dude.
Damn.
That's got dude. Yeah, I don't know.
He's got a sting. Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Yeah, how do you?
But do you think like that
you think the
comedy
shit-
law is like comedians are always protected by the comedy law?
No,
Or you think
because someone just attacked Dave Chappelle on stage too. Like,
Yeah,
remember?
you're right.
Oh,
They
yeah,
ran
that's
up on
right.
stage, but they fucked him
Oh,
up.
yeah, they
That
jumped
broke his
yeah.
arm.
That
They-
dude looked wild
Yeah,
afterwards.
he's
all-
all-
They broke his
was
arm
all
and they
fucked.
handcuffed the broken
His
arm.
face is all fucked. Yeah, he looked fucked up, dude.
That's what you get.
You think that's gonna start happening more? People just rushing the stage
No, I
because
think there was like a brief period where, you know, people like I saw certain comics being like, "Yo, if somebody fucking tries to come to me, bro," and it's like, has anyone ever done it? Like, no one's doing that at shows, unless they're like. I've never seen anybody charge a stage at a show. I've seen people get really rowdy, and like I've seen fights almost happen afterwards. But you know, I don't think that's gonna happen. I think that the people that go to comedy shows, they're there to
Have a good time.
have a good time and to watch the performance, and you know, most of the time where you see that rowdy stuff is at like open mics or where people don't know
crowd work.
yeah, or people don't know, you know, the comedian or something, and he's like a little out of pocket. Like I don't know. It's tough to say. I don't think anything's gonna happen. I don't think people are gonna start rushing the stage or anything like that. I think it's just like a few people that don't quite get it and shouldn't be there, that are doing that. Like, you know, Will Smith shouldn't have gotten to go and accept his fucking Oscar afterwards, bro. That shit was wild.
yeah.
He's crying on stage. I'm sorry. It's like, are we watching like? Is this like, you know, when your 5-year-old brother that like slaps your sister and then he has to apologize to your mom, makes him apologize, and then he's like crying through it because he's so embarrassed. You know, that's what it felt like. Now say you're sorry, Will.
Oh,
Like,
man. That's what
Say you're
the
sorry,
academy is
Billy.
the parents.
Yeah.
Man, that's sad.
yeah.
Has anybody ever tried to attack you?
Nah, man. Nah, I've had some people like yell at me, and afterwards be like, tell me why what I was saying is hurtful, and I was like, oh man, yeah, I didn't even think about it like that. I was just thinking about it like being funny. You know?
I was thinking about it like I was saying a
I
joke, you
wasn't-
know.
yeah.
But oh well,
It's
silly me,
wild
right?
that you
I
thought
was
I
just
would
talking shit.
intentionally walk up there to hurt your feelings, you know? Like, That's wild. Yeah.
Yeah. Some people internalize it a lot more than others.
Yeah. Some people can't. Yeah. You mean they think only about themselves?
Whoa.
Weird, dude.
It's funny until it's about them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Aaron got to take their turn, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that
Do you feel like as a comedian that most people can laugh at themselves, or you feel like most people are like jerks about, or kind of like?
I think you get to see it in real time. I wish people could have a POV of
July 30th.
of what I see or what a comedian sees
Yeah.
while they're telling jokes, because you can see people really looking at you and smiling and listening.
Hey,
You can see people looking at you like,
that might be
"Fuck
your
you."
$1 million idea there. Like make a POV like video,
Google
like
Glass or
like
something.
VR, yeah, like a VR glass of like a comedian point of view.
No, I
Fucking-
think people would want to start. Everybody want to start doing it, bro. Like,
Yeah.
Fucking GoPro on the...
Yeah,
Yeah.
just like wear a GoPro.
I don't need,
and
I
like,
don't need anybody else as a fucking mics, dude.
Everyone's just like, what the fuck is that on your head?
Already enough people I'm trying
just
to
be like, oh, it's my
yeah.
third eye. I got third eye vision.
But,
Fucking woke.
But it is, yeah. You can see people like I kind of pan to the people that are paying attention to me more than the
Yeah.
people that aren't, you know. And like you have to get over eye contact too. Like I used to just stare at the back of the room.
Have you ever
And not
like
look at anybody.
talked about it, or talked to anybody on stage, or like worked with any like buddy like on stage, like with your joke?
Oh,
Yeah, like we've done like sometimes when we do the tips at the Blue Lagoon, there's two of us because there's like somebody holding the basket and like they'll start like dancing or doing something and we'll like do back and forth or like that in the moment. Or I've done roast battles before.
oh shit.
I did one recently and then I hosted one. And the one I did
Nice.
recently, I went first, and I wish I would have went a little harder in the paint because I went first, kind of set the tone, and then everybody just like cranked it up a little more, and I was
shit.
like, like I don't,
coulda
I don't
went
get
harder.
a rebuttal now. Like I just
Yeah.
have to sit through this, and it's like I should have went as hard as I could. Like,
Yeah.
When it comes to roasting, like, were you guys roasting each other, or was
yeah,
just okay?
It was like a panel of people, and it was fun. It was just like, yeah, that shit's a little. I mean, you gotta have thick skin, you know. I thought I did, bro.
oh
And I
shit!
was like, okay, yeah, I like.
What
You
they say
left,
to
you
you?
got back in your truck, and you just.
Nah, I was like,
What they say? Can you tell us what they said?
Somebody said I look like Jay and Silent Bob, and I was like, okay. And then somebody else said I look like I'm on my way to becoming a mall Santa, which I was like, sad future. The other ones I can't.
Oh, those are cute. Those are
The
cute.
other ones were like obscure references and stuff. They were funny. I don't remember them like that well, but the Jay and Silent Bob was good because I was like, I can see that. That's funny.
Top
Yeah.
5 comedians.
Top 5 comedians: Bill Hicks, Lewis Black, Chris Porter, Tom Segura.
Tom Segura.
Ooh,
So was the last one. Because anybody could go in there, you know?
Greg Giraldo.
Okay.
The only one that I knew was Tom Segura, and that
Damn,
whole,
bro, you need to
Fuck.
educate yourself, dog.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, Bill Hicks is an older one. He's like, he just goes for it. There's video of him like tearing people down, and just like in audiences and like losing it on stage, but it's funny. And he's like one of those first guys. Like his style is like, yeah, he's
Okay.
hilarious, bro.
Oh, I've
He has-
seen that, dude.
Yeah, he has so many good jokes, man. People think he's Alex Jones, but he's not. It's a conspiracy.
That's funny as fuck.
I like heard some of his stuff when I was a kid, and then also when I started getting into comedy, his name came up, and I just like binged him, and he's like one of my favorites.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, who was your first comic that you ever saw and like kind
Probably
of gravitated you to that?
I probably watched like the blue collar comedy, or like I probably watched like Ron White, or like I know Greg Giraldo was. I watched the roast when I was a kid. He's like a huge influence, and he's really funny. R.A.P. And then yeah, like Lewis Black. I don't know, Lewis Black is like probably the
Yeah.
earliest I can remember him being super angry and like
Yeah.
losing it, and like his glasses flying off. Yeah, that guy is amazing, dude.
More
He's
the
like
performer
older
style,
now, but yeah, he had like some great specials back
He
in the
looks
day on
like-
Comedy Central.
He looks like Cheech a little bit.
That
Right.
kinda does,
Yeah, he kind of does.
He looks
yeah.
like he looks like a whiter cheese.
Yeah, Tom Segura is probably the like modern one, the recent one that's like for me like
Any
kinda on Mount
honorable mentions
Rushmore.
for like recent comics? You know what I mean? Like
Recent people like coming up, or
yeah,
like,
or like just like
Or
for
like,
example, I'm a
yeah.
big fan of Andrew Schultz.
oh, you like
like
okay.
like that.
Yeah, I like Schultz too. I like Santino, Stavros, Alcaias, Sam Morril, Joe List.
Oh, Joe List is
um,
hilarious, bro. Fucks with him.
Fucking
Dalia.
Delia's good.
You like you fuck with Chris Stefano?
Yeah, I like the Stefano. I like all those New York guys are funny, man. Like there's some like Dan Soder's a big one for me. And then oh shit, am I running over time?
No, yeah, it's a
But yeah, like Dan Soder. Who else? There's
Dan
some
Soder's a
LA
good one.
people that I can't think of.
What do you think about Brendan Schaub?
What do I think about? I think that I think that he's done really well in his business.
Right.
I think that
Still has
like,
progress to make, which is nothing
he
wrong with that.
definitely like with the Fighter and the Kid. The Fighter and the Kid's been around for 10 years. Like so many people know Fighter and the Kid. So many like all the references that have come of that from like the clips and like Will Sasso is a big like like funny guy that's gets highlighted on that show. To me, it's like with him, and a lot of people say this to me and stuff, like I put clips up. I don't even feel like I should be putting my clips up, but I am so that people know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to get the message out there that like, come watch me, like come see me. This is what I'm doing. This is something you can see to be like, oh, this guy's, like funny. I'll go watch him perform. And I think that's what Brendan's trying to do with his special is just like, hey, come see me, come see me perform. Like, that's just a way to sell tickets, probably. And I think that, some of the jokes are funny. Some people sent me clips, and I didn't watch it, but some people sent me clips, and I was like, I can see how that would make people, like, I always just, like, I see how it works, like, I've watched it so much now that it's like, okay, like, that follows from A to B, But I think that he could probably work on that a lot more. Like, he probably could have worked on that, cut some of that stuff out. Like probably could have out of the 30 minutes there was probably like 10 minutes that he could have taken and like expanded on and maybe made it into a 30 out of that. That was probably funny.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know the guy. He's obviously way more successful than myself. I think he's used his his ability to get on Rogan and the UFC as a large, you got to realize like how many people just know who he is because of that and his ability to go and get booked.
Him up,
yeah,
it's about
like,
who you know.
I'm trying to get people to, like coming on here today and talking to you guys, it's like I hope some people that listen to you guys tap into me and stuff, you know, and it's like the more that you do that, I feel like the bigger pops you get. It's like you eventually get to the opportunities that he has. I just think that maybe he seems like, in terms of what else is out there as content, as comedy specials, it seems like he may have rushed it a little bit or tried or didn't like, I don't know. Just nobody was being like, hey man, you should maybe not put this out. Like, or they were, and he was just like, I'm not listening to you. Because that's also a tough thing to go through is like, I will tell a bit to a friend and they're like, that's not funny, dude.
Yeah.
Do you feel like comedians can rest on their laurels, like once they've already made it? Like with a rapper, like if they've already like been blown up and like everybody knows who they are, they can start like making mediocre songs because their name's already selling anyway. Do you think that works with?
It's hard to say, like comedy is subjective and it really is like there's markets for certain people to work in, and if you have the ability to get yourself there and get in front of those people and you do crush it, then it's like, then you're to those people you're funny and you're a comic and everything. It's like
You're God.
Like the narrative, I always see on the subreddit, like the narrative is like, that it's controllable. Like you can like, people can think you're funny, people can think you're not, but it's up to you to like, navigate and make sure that everybody, like on a podcast recently, somebody was talking about how they just want the reputation to be positive wherever they go. They want all they want, their hope is that people are saying good things about them. And it's like, that's a thing to like inspire to be, or inspire to have, is like to have a good reputation all the time, because people can be like, that guy's a piece of shit.
Oh, but
And
just
you
being like a
don't
reliable person, this guy comes through every time, he promotes, he, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Comes through every time, yeah.
So much of like getting opportunities is like showing up early to like put out chairs or like put away chairs. they'll give you more time on stage.
Right.
You know, it's like
Telling people thank you for coming or some shit like that.
yeah, yeah, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Ultimately,
So,
that's what it is.
seems like we came to an end. Any more questions from y'all?
No,
man. Just,
man.
And
Michael
not just
Booth.
plug in your socials or
Plug in all the social media, plug in your
Yeah.
podcast, what you got coming up.
Well, thank you guys for having me on
course,
today.
man.
It was
Man,
cool
thank
talking
you
to
for
guys.
sliding
This is
through,
a
man.
cool
Appreciate it.
space. You can follow me on Instagram at _Michael Booth Comedy. I links for my bio or for my shows. I think I have a show, like I said, on the 14th at the Woodhouse. On the 16th, I'll be at Greater Purpose. On the 22nd, I'll be in San Jose. S27 Ales. On the 30th, I'll be in Salinas at the XL Public House. And August 10th, I'll be in San Francisco at a show called Deep Cut, I think in the Financial District. My buddy Austin Carr is running that one. But make sure to come to the one on the 30th. And then also you can follow my podcast at I'm Getting There Pod, all one word. And I just dropped an episode today. I think I have I'm on episode 103. So
103.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
not quite
Windows.
not quite as
Hey.
big a library as you gentlemen, but I'm out there, bro.
No, you
Go
got
check that out. Yeah.
The show sounds
Man.
good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you for
appreciate
sliding,
guys,
Michael
bro.
Booth, man. Thank you for
Yeah,
coming through,
thank you
man.
so much
Appreciate
for
it.
stopping
Booth.
by, brother.
Thank you. Till next time, y'all.
Yes,
Slide
sir.
through.
Just
Shit.
Hey, Kat, can you tell the people where they can get their Slide Through podcast merch?
Absolutely. So y'all gonna go over to the Slide Through Podcast IG, click on that conglomerate by the sea.com link. Go on to the left side, that sandwich bar, click on that. Click on the Slide Through Podcast clothing. Then you're gonna scroll down to that image where you see the Slide Through Podcast crew neck. Click on that, and there you go. You see the sizes small through 2X. Thank y'all for the support.